So what we can do now, shall we start? Is this the usual practice? Lecture is starting around 8 o'clock, you all are coming till 9 o'clock. That is the usual practice. So I don't have any email. I don't know. The thing is, when they are coming like after 8, then what will happen? All of you are giving attention to this. It's really like kind of a disturbance to me. That's why I'm not gonna wait. So we have another 5 minutes. So we wait for 5 minutes and we'll start. All of them have 16 DNA to it. You go 18A. You also do the 16 DNA. But that is to do that order. Have I recorded in order? Yes, she mentioned that like she's on the way here today. So by the way, today shall we start? Right? So good morning. So there are few things that I want to share with you all today regarding the lecture schedule for the upcoming week. So we will finalize how we are going to do this. So before that, because majority of you are not here yet, so we will start the session, and after the break, I will communicate how we are going to schedule the next upcoming sessions. Okay. So Sumaya mentioned that you are okay to go with 1 week physical and 1 week online. The thing is, if you are going for online session today, then you will schedule it in a weekday evening, 7:30 to 8:30, and you all can keep the Sunday so you are like studies or the curriculum arrangements, right? So hope like if we move on to weekdays, right? Can we like have lectures from 7:30 to 9:30? So I know because some of you are not some of you are like all of you are working today. So in that case, I guess 7:30 is somewhat feasible, right? 7:30 to 9:30. So the online session, I know you are like enjoying even after it also because I have control. That's fine. At least the issue is only with the knowledge transmission because if you are referring to the recording, then no problem. At least if you are referring to the recording. My expectation is to transmit the knowledge. So I'm not one who likes serving the attendance. So it's up to you all. So yes. Let me start the session and we'll discuss all the things after the break. Angelina, like if you cannot hear something, put it, just drop a message, or like you can communicate with your friends and put it. So if there's anything that you cannot hear, or if the line is not clear that much, you'll just inform us, right?
Okay, miss, thank you.
Right, okay. So we have started this chapter with it. Before starting the chapter, quickly go through the slides that we have discussed so far because we are continuing the same slides, right? We are not going to start with totally new chapter. In that case, quickly go through the slides that we have discussed. And then we can start the session with Lanka for today. Quickly go through. So this is the chapter that we have already started, working without supervision, right? So there we have discussed up to the point of being proactive. We have started, right? We have to start with being independent. We will go through and see the areas that we have covered so far. Now we are in the chapter number 2. Quickly, ma'am, there have been otherwise right, okay. So here, the chapter name is work without supervision. So there, basically, we are going to discuss 3 areas. One is being proactive, independent, and taking initiatives. The rationality behind these areas is in order to take initiatives, or basically in order to work without supervision, right? We have to be proactive and we have to be independent, and from our end we need to take initiative. That's why we are covering these 3 areas. The topic is working without supervision, right? So then in order to work without supervision, one main skill that we need to, like skill or a kind of area that we need to consider is being proactive. Right? I'm not going to again revisit it, but we have discussed on being proactive. Another thing is we have to be independent. If you want to work without supervision. Another thing is from our end we need to take initiatives. Right? So those are the 3 main areas we are going to cover under this chapter. So basically, you all now know what is being proactive, right? I'm not going to ask what is proactive also. So now we can directly start with this independence. Yesterday I have not started being independent, right? Started with it. So we have discussed what is independent and the characteristics of independence. Yes. Is self-reliance, emotional stability, and the decision making. Yes. Right, quickly tell me, but don't look at the books, right? Just quickly refresh. In order to be independent from our end, what kind of characteristics that we have to implant or inbuild in ourselves today? So, like, if we want to become a person who is independent, right? So, what kind of characteristics that we have to maintain in our lives as a leader? Generally, also your country. Not only as a leader, right? Because when it comes to our day-to-day lives, also definitely we have to be independent because this environment is again and again it's rapidly changing. So if we are not independent, if we are going to rely on some other people, then it's really hard to run in this rather than today. really hard, right? So in that case, we have to be resilient and we have to be independent. So if you want to become independent person, what kind of characteristics that you have to maintain in our life, we have discussed this, right? Never come up with some ideas we have discussed. Because directly I cannot start the next area without having the knowledge related to this being independent. Because we are continuing the same chapter. Practically, you don't like go through the theoretical, like in the slide also you can find some points, right? Even I have asked you to write down 4 or 5 points. So don't like based on the many things that you all have written today, but practically also can think the subject is more towards practical, that's right. So the examination also today, like that can be some points you all are writing from your own mind today, but I know that particular point is not I have included in the slide, but still I am giving marks because if I feel that you are providing a sufficient justification, then no problem, I am giving marks to it. Somehow you all cannot apply that for every place. That is there. So what do you think? In order to become independent, so what kind of characteristics that you have to maintain? So you self-motivated and self-confidence with it. Self-confidence, if we have the self-confidence, 2 areas. Basically, what we are telling is just self-motivated, because if we are not motivated, then definitely like we are not trying to become independent person. That is there. So especially like here, why you have mentioned self-motivated, because when it comes to the next financial independence side, okay? So if we are not self-motivated, then we like not going to think about this so-called independent, right? And not only that, when it comes to the birth settings also, if we want to do something in our own way, if we are not self-motivated, we are not going to like explore and find new ways of doing that. We just like doing the things based on the guidelines that we have received from the supervisors, okay? Very good, self-motivated. Then what I this particular point I didn't discuss in the last session. There's a kind of a huge impact from the emotional stability, right? Emotional stability comes with the emotional intelligence, right? Kind of emotional stability is an outcome of emotional intelligence. Here that can be some students, okay? So we have this experience, right? When it comes to a decision, simply like just consider when we are going to a clothing store, and in order to select one cloth today, we are like asking like if you are going with parents or your girlfriend or boyfriend or like husband or wife, we are like asking whether this is like in order to select one cloth, right? We are like checking different alternatives, and we are asking from others whether this is nice and whether this is like appropriate for the event, or like we are getting different comments from different ones, but still we are not satisfied. Allah, take a bala, I can it's a fact if I will comments ඒ comments මට අපි satisfy වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ තව එකක් බලනවා. So it's very good that you also can understand it's really hard to make a decision. Emotional stability is not there. When it comes to work organization, also we are going to like refer different. We need to refer alternatives. But there's a point where we need to firmly like select based on the knowledge and analysis. We need to select one alternative. Right? So that is this emotional stability is really important to me. If we want to become an independent person, emotional stability, right? So that should be there, because when it comes to the decision making, we cannot allocate much of time, right? So if we have 5 alternatives, if we need to select one alternative, so we have to apply the knowledge, we have to do a thorough analysis, and sometimes we can seek the consultation from our superiors. Okay? Based on that, we need to select one alternative. If the local card are trying to we cannot like spend the time. In that So now I can move on to the area that we have to start today. And this is just tell me, ma'am, another point. Do you think when like we all know that we all also have this ambition, we need to become independent. Financial independence is something else to say here, but we are discussing it. In our life, we need to be independent. In our work organizations also, we need to be independent. That is there. So, but I will ask it's not a question, just like we will discuss. You are saying today like there are an impact, okay, from culture, Sri Lankan culture towards this independence. The culture which is existing in Sri Lanka. So we are growing with the culture. Culture is the surrounding and if you like culture includes a lot of things, right? So we are growing with this existing culture and after like some age we are like joining with organizations and we are working with organizations. So to technical like is there an impact from the culture towards this being independent? So like according to my point of view and like there are some research also to that, there can be a like definitely impact, okay, from this culture towards being independent. Because it is from the childhood onwards, like we are depending on our parents, right? Someone then when you come them of you spend කරනවා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? සහ හැම දෙයක්ම අපි තීරණය ගන්නවා they are like asking from parents. Right? It's good like up to some level, up to some extent, like it's really good, right? So, but when it comes to the organizations, when we are like trying to become independent, that can be effect from that. Right? Critical thinking. If over here and today, but it can automatically like it can be covered. Right? That's why I said when we compare our kids, even like adults also when we compare our behavior with the individuals who are living in foreign countries, this particular point we can like identify. Right? So yes, that is also there. So first read this. What it's explaining is how to improve the support from peers in the sense work colleagues. Support from peers and subordinated taking initiatives. Now you can simply now we are moving on to the area of initiatives. Being proactive done, then the independent done. Now we are moving on to the area of initiatives, taking initiatives. So if we want to work without supervision, we need to take initiatives. Right? Can you just tell me what is the meaning of taking initiatives? Taking initiatives. Then only you can understand what's like it's mentioning, how to improve the support from peers and subordinated taking initiatives. First you need to understand what is initiative. Any idea? So what we expect from taking initiative. So any idea? I don't like to point again. I'm telling I don't like to point out and ask. And you're not staying in the lecture in the scientific matter. I don't like that. Lectures are like encouraging voluntary answer you. Because we need to keep the introduction also. So today, adding things. Yes, if we are initiative, we are adding new things or we are adding kind of things. I can understand what you're trying to say with it. Yes, it makes sense, adding things. without like relying on others. So we feel that it's better to add the things to that particular context, then we are adding it. Right? Independent. Right. Any other comments? Solution? Very good. Start something. Start. This is really this is also really interesting because initiatives here come like the start. That particular term means coming from like the taking initiative, starting something new, starting something in our own way, starting, right? Taking initiatives in the sense that like without waiting, okay, any other want to like start something with it from our end. We are like starting that particular procedure or our decision making process or our projects. We are like starting in our own way. Starting in our own way. Right? Now you can see that in order to become like in order to take initiative, definitely we have to have this proactiveness or the being proactive and independent. Otherwise, we are not going to start the things in our own way. So see the flow, see the link. Right? So now, as a leader, we have two responsibilities. One is from our end, we need to train ourselves to taking initiatives. Not only that, but we are like directing subordinates or the followers, then we need to encourage them also to take initiatives. Am I communicating? Practically, they do like when it comes to the organization, right? You all have the experience, like there are some senior managers, so manager level employees, right? They are always encourage us to do our task in our own way. Right? They are like allowing us to start the things, and if they feel that they have to intervene into the process, then they are intervene. But beforehand, they are not intervening, they just give the freedom. So they are subordinated to the developers to take initiatives and proceed with it. Right? But there are like some leaders today, from the starting point onwards, like they are intervening and they are giving direction and like step by step process, they are like sharing to the subordinates. So here, I cannot tell that the particular practice is wrong, no. Right? Because based on the follower also, can you remember last week we have discussed the situation and we have to put it based on the nature of the follower, the subordinate, sometimes we have to do that as the leader. Right? So then, keep that particular point in our mind. As a leader, we have to practice ourselves to take initiatives because when we are working for an organization, definitely we have to report to someone and do it. Till we become the owner of the organization, we have to report. Even CEO, CFO, they have to report. අපි හිතනවා අපේ මාර්කට් තමයි ප්‍රෙෂර් එක තියෙන අපි තමයි report කරලා දෙන්නේ කියලා නෝකද right? If you analyze the stress level and the workload of like one of the CEO, CFOs for them, it's massive. The responsibility for them. Right? The responsibility. He or she needs to report to the CEO or the chairman or the owner. Right? Massive. That's why like most of the people are trying to become entrepreneurs, will they become entrepreneurs? So this reporting things we cannot avoid. Right? Obviously. So in that case, okay, when it comes to this taking initiative, so again and again I'm telling we have to encourage our subordinates to go with this sort of this practice taking initiative. First, there are like some insight that I want to share with you all. First, read this list. How to improve the support from peers and subordinates in taking initiatives. What is explaining is, as a leader, how we can encourage our subordinates to take initiatives. Because when we are working as a team today, we cannot do everything, right? We have to delegate the things, right? So once we delegate something, if it is a proper delegation, we are like transferring the authority also to them, right? So they have authority, they have right? They have kind of responsibility to be covered, and they have to do some tasks, right? So then, once we done with the delegation today, so the subordinates need to take initiatives and proceed with their tasks. If we have done the delegation properly, right? So because the leaders need to allocate the time for the strategic decision making, right? So in that case, we are expecting, as leaders, we are expecting this taking initiatives from the subordinate set, right? One thing here, like explaining is encourage open communication. Can you tell me maybe like how this happens? Like when it comes to the encourage open communication or via open communication, how this taking initiatives happen? How can it help the subordinates to take initiative? This open communication. Always you have to link the things with the area that we are discussing. There are like certain points in filters, provide support and resources. I know provide support and resources, you can link with the area because if they have sufficient resources and the guidance and the support for them, they can take the initiative. Without resources, they cannot take the initiative. That is understandable, I know. Then even the recognize and reward initiatives also is understandable because when we are like recognizing subordinates commitment and their work and the task to them, then they are becoming motivated. Next time also they are trying to take initiative. I know that is also understandable. Then communicate success story also more towards like motivate the employees towards taking initiatives, right? So we can share the success stories of our other subordinates or the followers regarding like how they have took the initiatives and how they won those battles, right? We can share the stories with them. From that also they are getting motivated to take initiatives. I know you can understand that particular point. What I'm asking is how we can expect this taking initiatives via open communication. Critically, so now in third year, you all have to like think. Encourage and motivate. How it happens today? Via open communication. Because open communication is they don't have any barriers, okay? They can speak to their supervisor or the leader, even with their colleagues also they can share the thing, right? Sometimes if they want to give us some information, it's openly available. And open communication. And in other part, the leader also like allocating time to listen their what you call the grievances or their issues and open to policy, like open communication. So via that, how we can expect this motivation? Ideas. When we are looking at the open communication, we can expect more ideas with it. More ideas. So when they are coming up with more ideas, like yeah, acknowledging them, then it's the kind of support. What you're trying to say to them, like, tell me, is this the point that you want to say, right? Judgmental. Yes, right. When that is something, we are not judgmental. Okay? We are openly like listening to it and in a broad perspective, we analyze it. Okay? We are not going to make judgment in advance regarding the things that they are like sharing with us. Good. You are actually what is open communication. Idea generation also could be kind of outcome of the open communication. True. Right? Very true. But I'm asking is like how this helps to like make our subordinates towards this taking initiative. Any clue? Right, okay. Occasionally, it's also an outcome of this open communication. In the center of it, like we have the opportunity to openly discuss things with it. Definitely, this is the outcome of open communication. And I'm asking me, how we can like in India's open communication in other work organization culture, how we support our supporting people take initiatives. They are able to never start and support them. Open communication. They feel safe. Due to that feeling, they are taking initiatives. Yes, it makes sense. Yes. Yes. So they are sharing the things and the leaders are acknowledging them. They know that like the leader is knowing on that and member I can understand. So they feel that it's safe and they're taking initiative. Here with it. Very good, guys. Now we all have shared different points. When it comes to the open communication, what is happening today? We are allowing right, our subordinates to share the things in a like open manner. Open manner in the sense like the leader allowing them to come to his or her place and so what they like have to share with him, okay? So actively listening and not only that the communication is two-way processing. Right? So we are sharing the information also. When we are seeking information, right? We are sharing the information with them also. Right? So, and when the communication is open, as we correctly mentioned, the transparency is there with it. Can you understand? Transparency in the sense that we are not hiding any information or like if we have 5 members in the group, okay, if you are the leader, so if you are promoting open communication, they are sharing things with their peers or the colleagues, even with the leader. Then if we feel that this is just one example you want to make how this support to take initiatives, right? So now to this imagine we have assigned different tasks to 5 members. So okay, so what they do is they are discussing with everyone. So they are discussing. They are like asking others like if I do like this, not depending, they just like share. So they know that if there is something wrong, others will acknowledge and make him or her correct. Right? If they openly communicate with they are higher they are start they are done so then he or she is safely starting the new thing. Right? One example in order to make an understandable regarding open communication. Right? Yes, from this list today, write down any 3 points which you feel easy to record. Put it, write down the title as this. The base of, don't write down this title, then you all will get confused. Write down this, the base of, Put it, do you have a book? The base of, here is what it is. At least you came for the lecture into it. Yes. The ways of encouraging, subordinates to take initiatives in work organizations. Take initiative in work organizations. And from this list, write down any 3 points which you feel easy to recall. Still the point is same as that with it. Before writing anything, just give your attention and without looking at the screen, try to list down with it. So that's why I sometimes ask you, asking you to write down the points for the examination purpose. Maybe make it easier කරගන්න. Otherwise, again, when it comes to the examination, you all have to put an extra effort to take this point to your mind. I know. Attendance we cannot explain it because some of them are far away. So for one subject, it's like pointless, even though they need to have the knowledge. So for the transportation, they have to bear the cost and that's related to it. Sometimes they have to allocate 6 hours for the traveling purpose. At least they are. I can understand that I have even discussed with you today regarding this option. They can imagine the details of the anything. And this is the lecture the thing is we have only 11 sessions. The 80% had been based on the 11 lectures, not 15. If pass over Hatalan and he can take a Karana. Nagal lectures again. But I encourage Karana to the attendance. Right, okay. So here, the next part is, as a leader today, when we need to make our subordinates basically independent, and if we want to make them to take initiatives, as a leader, we have to play a very important role in providing feedback. Right? Provide feedback. One thing is, right, we are explaining how this happens. The same for them, so they don't have the experience advancement, that's why a leader is there, right? Sometimes if we consider some requirements or some tasks, they don't have the experience up to the required level. So that's why as a leader, so we have to provide the direction and the guidance, but we have to adapt them to take initiatives, right? So then why this feedback is important? From one hand, we need to understand feedback is a process in which we need to observe their performance and we need to acknowledge their performance. And then if we feel that if there's a gap between the expected level of performance and the actual performance, we need to provide feedback to bridge that gap. sometimes we are giving feedback even though there is no any gap, right? We are like appreciating, we are recognizing their effort. Right? If they are performing really well, that means there is no any gap between the actual and the expected, and then we are recognizing. And we are like, they are also like from as the leaders, we have a kind of a responsibility. When we are like giving a kind of a task or a target, if our subordinates are like performing really well with it, that means they have more potential. They have more capability. Then we have to like very strategically, right? We have to extend those targets because we need to carefully understand that. Alright, okay, so this person is performing really well. So that means this particular person has more potential. So why we are limiting this person to this particular task is extend the task, or like we will give more responsibilities with the authority, or like basically responsibilities. So that is also very important, but otherwise we discriminate the employee's capability. Right? After perform clinically, we should know. Right? So the important fact, or the important other aspect is that once we recognize that some employees are not performing well, right? As a leader, we have a responsibility to check the reason for that. And sometimes we have not assigned the correct task for them. If the requirement of the tasks are not matching with their capabilities, then we cannot expect the like kind of high performances from them. Right? As a leader. So yes, we have the intention, or we have the expectation to make them to take initiative, right? But they cannot take initiatives if their skills and the target is not matching. That is knowledge and human initiative is not capability is not. Right? So that kind of feedback in the sense does not only providing kind of advisors, right? It's a process. We have to observe the performance, like giving feedback is a process, right? That's a starting point. So in order to give feedback, we need to monitor the performances. Then we need to analyze, we need to compare the actual performances with the planned performances, KPI, key performance indicators. Then only based on that analysis of the comparison, we have to provide the feedback. Right? When we are giving feedbacks to the always, we need to target how this helps him to take initiatives. ඒක මෙතෙන්ද ලින්ක් කරන්න. feedback එක කොහොමද ලින්ක් කරන්නේ? එයාව කන්ටිනියම ට්‍රේන් කරගන්න එයාගේ initiatives වල. Right? So let me show you on the slide. First read this. This is for your information. The last point is important. As a leader, we may sometimes miss that particular point. Being observant, yes. Acknowledging and thanking them for what followers do. Okay, we need to recognize, we need to appreciate their commitment. Equally, if someone has not performed, the third point and the fourth point, those are important. Equally, if someone has not performed to the expected standard, then they are capable of doing so. Capable. They are capable. Then leaders should not ignore that either. That is important. That is kind of a unfair behavior because sometimes other employees are extending their effort max in a kind of a maximum manner. There are like certain employees that even though they have the capability, they are not extending their effort to them. Right? After acknowledge about genuine act, you know, not a right kind of a fair behavior. Right? As a leader, we have to acknowledge that particular gap also. Then matching the task, we ask people to do to their abilities and personalities while also stretching people by taking the comfort zone. That's why I have mentioned that once we realize that there are like some individuals who can do more, we have to stretch them. So that means we have to take them out of the comfort zone. We have to give more challenges. And then only they are like exploring and then only they can have more exposure. Right? This is for your information, no need to write anything. So, just write down the first read it, then I will give a small sentence. Just read this first. It's about providing feedback. Since the subject is easy to remember, when you are going through the slides, just take the point in your mind at a particular point. Because we have to look for struggle and there. Technical and if you have try to save the time. Then you can allocate the time to other technical subjects. So corporate reporting, right? So take the benefit, like you are attending for the lecture and take the maximum benefit of it. So write down this small sentence with it. Write down a short, small time lapse feedback. As a leader, as a leader, as a leader, if you want to encourage, if you want to encourage subordinates to take initiative, it is important to provide regular feedback and create the working atmosphere to working environment, working atmosphere to take initiatives confidently. Take initiatives confidently. Here, leaders, here, then we will say para. Here, leaders need to acknowledge. Here, leaders need to acknowledge performances of all the subordinates who are under all the subordinates who are under his or her supervision, who are under his or supervision. To bridge the bridge, to bridge the gap between, to bridge the gaps, to bridge the gaps between expected performances and actual performances. Then today, that's another point, right? I just want to share with you all. So now we have mentioned that in order to make our subordinates to take the initiatives and like start the things in their own way and continue with it. So we need to give feedback. So we have discussed. Don't think that like mathematical thing is only like it is the only factor which affects on this taking initiatives. Definitely no. And that is not the only factor which influence towards this taking initiatives. No, it's only one factor because as a leader, because here we are focusing leadership, as leaders we need to provide feedback to make them to like encourage them to take initiatives. That is true. Then that's something else that we have to consider. Because if they don't have these things in the sense, that's what I'm expecting from UIA. If they don't have these things, then they can't take initiatives. අපි feedback දුන්නා කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ initiatives ගන්න බෑ if they don't have this. There are like basically three things. Image, like not image, just think as a like employee, right? All of you are working with it. If you want to take initiatives, what you have to improve it. So if like image, you are subordinate, like not subordinate, you are manager, right? Or the supervisor, providing the required feedback and the guidance. That is up to satisfactory level. Feedback is also fine, and the guidance also fine. But do you think that like if those two are there, we make like we take initiatives here? So there are three things that we have to do. Then as a leader, we need to motivate them to improve those three things. Yes, you are moving to that place. You are moving to it. You are into there. What do you think? Cannot take initiatives like if you have only the feedback and the basically feedback. The feedback, guidance, cannot take initiatives. Just imagine you need to start a new task. Right? You need to start a new task. Usually we know what we have to do, right? So out of that now they have added something new. Now you have to start it, right? So the initial guidance, so then we can expect regular feedbacks also when we are proceeding, right? So are we in a position to start that project? එන්නවා කියන්නේ 8:30 නෙමෙයි break එක පස්සේ අර පිට break කරා 9:30 then after the break ආයෙත් come තරමට නෙමෙයි කරන්නේ it's disturbing today right then all of you are giving attention to them so you don't like that practice boys what do you think in order to take initiative as an employee right what do you need to have you also have experience lately, you are not working in that. And we want to start something. So it's totally new. and some subordinate roles. And it is also the beginning to get mental training and is going to refer to other sources. We have to be comfortable with that anyway. Basically, within 3 things, right? One is skill, knowledge, and attitude, right? Altogether, these 3 things we can label it as competence. That's what I have mentioned. You are into there because the competences, like it's about these 3 things: skills, knowledge, and the attitude. The combination of these 3 things we can mention as competence, right? So that should be the category, right? If we don't have the attitude to start something new, okay? If we are not embracing the challenges, if we are not embracing the new things, we don't do it. We initiative ගන්න යන්නේ අපි වෙනකම් බලන් ඉන්නවා මේක කරන්න ඉන්නේ කියනකම් බලන් ඉන්නවා. Attitude, right? We need to have a positive attitude and we need to have a right and appropriate attitude to start something new. Skill. Skill is not about knowledge, right? So you are now into accounting field with it. So definitely in your role, they are assigning the things related to accounting and finance, right? Then you need to have that particular skill also, proceed with the task, and the knowledge, then right? So then your will take initiative if you have the proper feedback and the guidance. We have to cover all these things. Then as leaders, simultaneously, while we are providing the guidance, while we are providing feedback, we need to improve their skills, knowledge, and attitude. So that we can use this training. Right? So that's what in the next slide I'm explaining. I have not explained in detail here. Right? Competences depends on 3 elements. Here experience also there, right? But you all can add the attitude also. Write down a simple kind of a small note. In order to motivate subordinates to take initiatives it is required to create the environment which enables them to create the environment which enables them to improve their skills, knowledge, experiences, and attitudes. Right? Okay. Then I will explain this slide and I will give you the break, right? So basically today when there's something newly really like we are seeking or we are expecting that other subordinates take initiative, right? If it is a usual task or a routine task, then that's already like they are engaging with that particular task and it's that in that particular point we are not expecting the initiative, right? But if there's something new, right, we are expecting our subordinates take initiatives and they will start here, right? So they may take the initiative, they may take relevant actions to proceed with the new task. But at the beginning, okay, we need to like make the background to start it. So we need to give the relevant guidance to them. Right? We need to clarify the expectations of the new task. Right? So the basic things we are like we need to explain them. Right? Otherwise they are getting confused if they don't know the objective of the task. Right? So assume when a leader is providing, okay, or when the leader is explaining something new. Capitalism, right? When a leader explaining something new to his or her subordinates who there, right? So, let's assume now the leader is explaining something new to his or her subordinates. What I'm telling is, via this method, the leader also can expect a benefit or a kind of an advantage. Definitely, I'm not asking what is the advantage that the follower, the subordinate can have from this explanation. Right? When the leader is explaining something new, definitely the subordinate can capture the new knowledge. Alumna can leader get subordinate definitely he can capture new things. So then through that he can or he or she can what do you call enhance the cognitive abilities or the basic knowledge. Right? And I'm asking is through that what is the advantage that we can have? Explaining something new to the subordinates. Because here we are focusing the leadership. So again, like we can expect two things. One is definitely subordinates can enhance their knowledge, right? So, but I'm asking is, as a leader, what is the advantage of explaining something new to the subordinates? Because in order to encourage them to take initiatives, like initially we have to provide them the guidance or the background. We have to explain the background related to that particular issue. අපි කියනකොට මුලින්ම මෙහෙම කරන්න ඕනේ මේ විද්‍යාවේ මේක ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව්ස් නේ මේක කෙරෙන්න ඕනේ මේ විදිහට කියලා අපි පැහැදිලි කරනකොට as the leader. That kind of an advantage that we can have. Just think. We are moving to there. Yes. Thank you. So, what is the benefit that they can have? It's the benefit. How can use that in the future? You don't have to make it very much. So beyond also you need to again trying to think on these areas. So if you are going to have to mage patte ma kochchar kiyewot no if you are not taking the logic to your mind. ඔගොල්ලෝ logic මේකට අදාළ වෙන logic ඔගොල්ලෝ වල කරලා නැත්නම් like it's hard to keep the things in your mind. Practically English. Some of you all may have the subordination with it. When you are like explaining something new to one of your subordinates. Just think about your what do you call them, exam, right? So I make it more easy. So when you are like explaining something to your colleagues, right? So that particular, just assume that friend has participated for the lectures and like this knowledge is totally new to her or him. Totally new. So now we are like explaining, logic, techniques, so you are explaining. what is the benefit that you can gain from it? Sometimes we are like, so in order to maintain understanding, right? So we are also like in our own way, we are also trying to understand it in the better way. So then through the related things, we can do this. Very good. And like next time you know that like if you have to tell the examination purpose, definitely yes, we can keep it in our mind when we are doing something to our friends. That is there because ගුරුවරයා දහතරක් කියලා දෙන්නේ කොළඹ යන සමාන අපිටත් right? That is there. True. So now these answers totally correct, right? Now combine with the work optimization. As with the valuation is something we are subordinate, right? Then put it simply, right? When you are telling something totally new to one of your subordinates, you can understand the way subordinates are like when I'm just assume that I'm explaining about preparing a kind of a not the main financial report, one of the financial reports. Okay, so which the robot is asking from us. At that particular point, now I'm explaining how, like what are the things that we need to do in order to generate this report to one of your subordinates, right? So the thing is, this task is new to you also, because you also not have like kind of a new thing, and so the subordinate is also new. You are now explaining to you have to do this way, and you can realize that whether the subordinate understand your explanation. And I'm telling you, when you are like explaining, this is how you have to do, right? So then, by looking at and by analyzing his way of capturing today, you can understand whether you have delivered it correctly or like how you can further improve in terms of transmitting the knowledge to the subordinate. What is it? ඔයාට මොකද කියලා දෙනකොට තේරුම් ගන්නවා යාගේ මේක කැප්චර් කරගන්න නැත්නම් මෙතන නම් struggle කරනවා. You are trying to search a new way to deliver the same point in a different way. Right? Simply what I'm telling you that when we are transferring knowledge to someone like some of your subordinates regarding a new thing, from that you also can learn. Simply that. Right? Because as a leader, we have to provide the directions. Then we need to understand if I deliver the point in this way, my subordinates can capture it in a very effective manner. If I deliver the same point in this way, they cannot understand. Right? It will help you to improve your effectiveness also as a leader. At that particular knowledge transmission point, you also a learner, not only the subordinate. Because you are transferring only something new to the subordinate. You are also becoming a learner in that particular process. අලුතෙන් කියලා දෙනකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ තමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගානක් හදනකොට අලුතෙන් ගානක් නම් කියලා දෙනකොට තමයි තේරෙන්නේ සමහර දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මීටර් වෙනවා මේක මෙහෙම හදන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක. Right? මෙහෙම යනකොට මේ ෂෝට් කට් එකකින් මේක ගන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක you are not memory නවත්නේ. So it's a learning point. Right? So with this I will give you the break. Read this for them. Getting others to mentor, guide and support a person doing something new. Providing two development opportunities. Yes. First point, as I explained, it's really easy to understand. Learners get experience of something new. And the second point, mentors learn how to pass on their knowledge and experience and gain further confidence to perform. Read, listen with the write down the first 2 points. I will give the title for exercise. This point is about the delegation, right? So then only the subordinates also can have new exposure. They can explore new things. If we are not delegating new things to them, then they cannot have the exposure. Write down the subtopic with it. Two main developments. Two main developments. Two main developments that leaders and subordinates can expect, not accept, expect via via delivering something new. Delivering something new. Put a semicolon and write down these two bullet. Colon, gamma, semicolon, that's up to you. Just you can have the mark, anything. And write down the 2 points. Learners get experience of something new. Mentors here, instead of mentors, you can write down leaders. Here. When you are writing learners also, within brackets write down followers or the subordinate. And here, instead of mentors, use the term leaders. Once you finish writing the second point, let me know. I will give a small point over there. Just inform me once you finish writing. Here, open the bracket and write down. Here, make a real even number, just open a bracket and write down this. Here, leader becomes a learner. Here, leader becomes a learner in the knowledge transmission process. In the knowledge transmission process. Knowledge transmission process. Okay. So with this, now you all can take the break. After the break, we will discuss the remaining areas. Good, I can see that some of you have joined online 16D weekend students. Altogether, there are 4 students, not 5 students. The thing is with them, don't know, not pretty sure whether you all can hear me properly because I'm delivering the points while I'm working throughout the class. So in that case, how I can help you is, if you want to have notes, just tell me, then I will support you, right? Let me check who have joined online. I have discussed with Angelina. Okay, who is 16D weekend 017? So are you there? 16D weekend 017. Then 16D weekend.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Uday. So just tell me, ma'am, can you hear me when I'm like giving them the notes? Can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Alright, okay, no problem. That's what I wanted to clarify. If not, if you want to have notes, just contact me, then I will direct you. So now you also can take the break. Good day, Angelo Pereira. So, tell me good day, name. Angelina, did you inform you the administration department prior to participating online, like via online today?
Yeah, miss. I dropped a mail to Miss Shashanika.
Sorry, good day.
I dropped an email to Miss Shashanika.
Alright, okay. Is this only for this week or like I will discuss the schedule for the upcoming session now?
Yeah, miss. Just for today.
Alright, okay, good. That's okay. That's fine. Then, Angelo, good day. What about you? Are you there? So the point that I want to share with you all today, you can only join via online if you all have took the prior approval only, right? So, but in future we are going to have two online sessions, and for those two online sessions, definitely you all can join online. So, but when we are arranging physical lectures, okay, I'm expecting your physical participation if you all have not taken prior approvals, right? That's what I wanted to communicate. Okay, so you all can take the break. Yes, Pute. Really sorry for the inconvenience caused. Mistakenly, I was muted. Hope now you all can hear me. I didn't discuss anything yet. I just asked them to write down 5 most powerful motivational strategies according to their perception. Right? This is totally subjective thing. You all need to write down 5 motivational strategies or kind of factors which you feel, yes, these factors can create an impact on your motivational level. Right? So according to your perception, they write down any 5 motivational strategies. That's what I have asked them to do. We generally write down any 5 motivational factors according to your perception. Based on what kind of factors you are getting motivated. That's what it's asking. I will apply to the working places also today. That's it, and compensation, so that consider the motivation. Especially with the write down motivational factors related to the work organizations when you are working. I have seen some answers are related to the personal motivation to their personal motivation in the sense the day-to-day life. Here what I'm expecting, really sorry, I made the mistake, I didn't mention the context. Write down any strong motivational factors which influence your motivational level in the work organizations, workplaces. You are really good most right? I have gone through some answers. So most of the answers are like towards non-financial benefits. Like I didn't find any kind of answer related to financial reports. So you are really good neighbor. The organizations, how lucky we are. Yes. So here, now you all have written different answers with it. I have seen that some of you all are like getting motivated by listening to like even when it comes to the setting also these different success stories of other leaders, right? When it comes to the corporate sector also we can find leaders with it, right? So then you all have written another comment, the supportive leadership or the commit, the point, supportive leadership. Then the work environment, if the positive, like if you are in a positive work environment, some of you have mentioned that you all are getting motivated, right? Based on the recognition and the rewards, right? So then feedbacks. I have seen some interesting answers, but see this slide. Here, this is according to here you can see it's based on Adrian Turnholm, Professor of Occupational Psychology at University College London, argues that most important motivational factors are as follows. Here, now you need to understand why we are discussing these motivational factors under this leadership. That is the place where that you have to map to it, right? So here, why we are learning these motivational factors, the lesson that you have to take from this slide is, when you are performing your role as a leader today, now we have mentioned that we need to encourage our subordinates to take initiative, to be proactive, to be independent, right? So all of these things, but definitely their motivation level create a kind of a significant impact, right? Motivational level. So at the beginning also when I was asking some answers, you have mentioned the self-motivated or self-motivation. It's really important. So then we need to understand how we can make or how we can increase our subordinate motivational level, right? So when you're reading this list, you can understand here any of this point or points are not related to financial benefits. That is the important thing, right? So say the emotional impact towards the motivations. You can see the first one, the intrinsic value of the job. So internally, right? Inner peace, right? Inner peace in the sense that internally we really love to engage with the job. Okay, actually, inner peace එක කැමති job එකත් එක්කම යන්න. Right? So then we given responsibilities. Right? You all know the Abraham Maslow's needs of hierarchy. So self-esteem, right? Being given responsibility. When we have more responsibilities, we can expect the recognition. Then giving feedback and creating sense of achievement. I have seen that particular point. Some of you have mentioned the feedbacks. Then providing training and development opportunities to the employees. Then showing people respect. Right? That is also important to them. Within brackets, I have mentioned when talking to them and involving them in decisions. We need to think how we can show the respect. Right? Yes, it's like mentioning, we need to show the respect of the subordinates in order to motivate, in order to improve the motivational level. So then we have to think how we can show them the respect. Very simple strategy or the simple point is that when we are speaking with them, we have to be polite and we have to show the respect. Another thing is, when we are taking their involvement to the decision making process, that means that we are respecting their ideas. Right? Otherwise, we are not taking them to the decision making process. Due to the reason of we are giving a value for their ideas, we are inviting them to the decision making process. Kind of to show the respect to them. Right? Here, you need to write down these same 5 points. Just put a remark for the examination purpose. I will check this area. So you can mention the slide number within brackets. Put a remark for the examination refer. You need to write down the 5 points. Did you finish? Did you sign? Pute, why is this made? There are 3 18A exemption students who are name are not here neither. So did you all inform to administration department? So according to the guidelines received to us with them, we cannot allow you to write on, but since you all have informed to them, so I will accept this. And there are 2 students from the May 16B also. Did you all like inform to administration department to them? Right, okay. Then the last part, right? Listen, you look. First finish, if you are writing anything, just finish writing. Now listen to them. When we need to, okay, as leaders, practically think, right? As leaders, when we need to harness or in order to improve the mind power, even in ourselves, not only in ourselves, even when it comes to the subordinates also, if we want to harness or improve the mind power, right? We need to consider certain, like basically we need to consider few areas, right? The thing is, we need to understand why we need to harness mind power, why we need to improve the mind power. Here we are in the chapter of working without supervision, right? So we have discussed that in order to work without supervision, we need to be proactive, okay? So not only the leaders, we need to make our subordinates also proactive. Then we have to make them independent. Leaders also to be independent, and we have to take initiatives. As leaders, yes, we need to take initiatives. Plus, we need to make our subordinates also to make initiatives. Done. Then, in order to go with all these three areas today, to be proactive, something related to our mind. We have to forecast future, right? So we have to foresee the future, something related with our mind. Then when it comes to being independent, the emotional stability, right? So when it comes to the emotional stability, the mindfulness is playing a kind of a really, really important role. Emotional stability, right? Then other thing is taking initiatives. So in order to take initiative, that means we have to think positively, right? We need to embrace the challenges of the new things, and we need to start something, right? In our own way, without relying on the supervisors, right? For that also, you can understand that's the impact from our mind, right? So see the relationship between mind in between these three areas: proactive, independent, and the taking initiatives. Right? All these three areas are linked with our mind, power of the mind. So then here I have mentioned two things today. One is mindfulness and focus. Let me show you on the slide here. First tell me what is mindfulness? Mindfulness and focus. From the focus you can understand what is mindfulness. What is the meaning of mindfulness? But we are trying to interpret from the term mindfulness. Okay, so concentrate, focus. That means simply we need to live in the moment. Right? So now you all are in the lecture. You all have to maintain the mindfulness. You all have to actively in the lecture. Right? As human beings, yes, this mind is really kind of a complex concept today. There are our mind goes different areas, but still, you all are in the process of learning. You all have to grab these things, you all have to capture these things. In that case, you all need to maintain mindfulness. You need to live in the moment, actively. Right? So mindfulness in the sense, maintaining the concentration and the focus, plus living the relevant moment actively. Right? Let me show you that. Here you can see mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, which can help reduce stress and improve focus of individuals. Right? And here I have mentioned some techniques that we can use to improve the mindfulness and focus. Okay, meditation, then the breath awareness, and the mindful observation. That is also kind of a really good technique for them. So from the mindful observations, we can learn a lot. Right? Experiences wise, exposures wise, that mindfulness observation is really very kind of a important point. Right? So here, if we have the mindfulness, just analyze yourself with it. We can rank, not the rank, we can give or we can tell that our mindfulness level is high, it's middle, or it is kind of a very low level, right? If we are if we have a good mindfulness with it, right, we are doing the things very accurately. When it comes to your jobs also, if you are mindful, if your mindfulness is really high, okay, so errors are really low, right? So accuracy rate is really high. So then encourage our employees to maintain high level of mindfulness due to the reason because we are working for a business organization, they are looking for the profit maximization. So we need to improve our subordinate performances and our performances because the top management is definitely keep the eye on us. So in that case, we need to perform. Right? We need to show that our errors are really minimum. Right? So then in order to achieve that minimum or the minimum errors, we need to maintain the required rate of mindfulness. ඒක මෙතන නිකන් ගොඩ emotional පැත්තම නැතුව as leaders we are working for the business organization. Right? Then we need to understand how we can support the organization to achieve that so-called profit maximization. Right? Even from the leadership. So here, if we have a good mindfulness as well as the subordinate, then we can expect low number of errors. That means accurate rate is really high. Then you know the flow, the efficiency will increase, productivity will increase, and it will positively impact on the overall productivity. Right? See the impact of mindfulness. Not only that, through the mindfulness, leaders and the subordinates, both parties can achieve the proactivity because when we are in the moment, we are very active, we are capturing all the relevant things and we can enhance our experience and the knowledge. Through that, we can foresee the future in accurate manner. We are becoming independent and it helps us to take initiatives also. බලන්න කොච්චර පැතිවලට impact කරන්න පුළුවන්ද this mindfulness. Right? Another thing is this one, positive psychology. Positive psychology. Let's read this. PERMA is a model to this. PERMA, it stands for positive emotions, then engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievement. Right? That particular model we can use to enhance the well-being of individuals. That means we need to maintain positive emotions. These are very basic. That's why I'm not explaining this model in detail. You can understand the positive emotions. So if we have if we are encouraging active participations and the engagement, the collaborations, plus relationships, close interactions, right, to share their thoughts, right, to discuss their new ideas, then meaning and the achievement. If we are giving attention to these six altogether, there are 5 areas. So automatically we can enhance our well-being. We are getting motivated. Because අපි විතරනේ ඉන්නේ positive emotions එක අපිට හොඳ relationships තියෙනවා අපි කරන හැම දෙයකම meaning එක දැනගෙනයි අපි කරන්නේ. So we are focusing achievements. So then we are in the motivated status. Right? Then it will help us to maintain a positive or a kind of a positive psychology, positive mentality. These 5 factors, positive emotions, then not the negative, pessimist, not the pessimistic thoughts, the optimistic thoughts. Positive emotions, then the engagement, relationships, meaning and achievement. The relationship also should be good relationships, right? And meaning and achievement, these 5 factors help us to improve our motivation and the positive psychology, positive mentality. Right? Then here it's explaining few methods, right? So first method is we need to set goals or targets. Then only we are trying to achieve. If we don't have something, then there's nothing to achieve. So then we cannot fulfill the practical achievement. In order to achieve, in order to address the achievement, we need to have targets or the objectives. Right? So then we need to understand strengths. Then only we are getting motivated. After the strengths, not to apply them, after weaknesses, can apply after the bad, we never get motivated. Right? So then the gratitude practice. We have to thank for the things that we have. Right? So we have to think we have these things. So we are fortunate enough to have these kind of things. Simply think like we are like with good physical health, right? It's a kind of a life we have to be gratitude of that. It's not what and so couple we have to be like we have to have a gratitude. Like teenage we can celebrate. Then we can like get motivated. Right? So man, what you can do is write down a small note for it, then I will show the relationship between these areas with the proactive, independent and the taking initiative. So first write down this. Write down a subtopic, mind power. Subtopic mind power. Write down to this. Being proactive, comma, be independent, and taking initiatives. Are linked with mind of individuals. Are linked with mind of individuals. Within that you can mention emotions. Right? Put a full stop. In order to become a person, who is proactive, comma, it is required to accurately predict the future occurrences. Then write down in order to, like you can write down it as another bullet point or in the same para you can write down. You don't need to write. You can be flexible for the overall pattern on time, flexible with your reality. किसी प्रश्न में make कराने like these are the points that you need to take in your mind, right? So in order to be an independent person, comma, it is required to maintain emotional stability through emotional intelligence. As a person, the second point, not the second, third point. Next point. As a person, So now we need to be emotionally strong. We need to be emotionally strong. Full stop. Then write down this. According to the above factors, according to the above mentioned factors, mind power is important to maintain the characteristics related to write down those three areas of it. Being proactive, independent, and to take initiatives. So before winding up the lecture, let me explain this area also. When we are talking about this positive psychology, you can have this small note also, like have a short note, write down, like no need to write down again mind power. Okay, you all have already written in it. So write down these two areas. Write down this. In order to maintain, first write down this, then you all can write down the points which I have mentioned in the whiteboard. In order to maintain strong mind power, as leaders, it is required to consider following two aspects. First one, I will write down. First one, maintaining mindfulness and focus. Second one, maintaining is started. So second one, write down developing positive psychology. Through maintaining a growth mindset. So let me explain this growth and fixed mindset with it. Fixed mindset in the sense simply this is you. So here you can see what I am telling is, in order to maintain a positive psychology, we need to maintain a growth mindset, right? So we need to avoid the fixed mindset. We need to encourage ourselves to be with this growth mindset. Even the subordinates also need to maintain growth mindset. We need to avoid fixed mindset. Right? Fixed in the sense that you have this experience. There are some individuals They are not like taking challenges, and they are within that particular framework. They are not willing to like step out from that framework, right? So they have the attitude that no, I cannot do that. Okay. So always they are in their comfortable zone. They are not taking steps out from the framework. And they actually need a right? But when it comes to the growth mindset, it's totally different, right? We are seeking new things, we are like seeking for more exposure, and we are like, we really like to be with the challenges, right? We are trying to do experiments, growth mindset, right? So in order to maintain a positive psychology, we need to maintain a growth mindset. And that is important. If a part of the positive psychology, we cannot maintain. So gradually we need to grow our mindset, then only we can reach the positive psychology. Right? So that is the meaning of this growth and the fixed mindset. So with this, then we can finish the content related to today's session today. So now we are in third week. We have completed 2 chapters. Next week I'm starting the chapter number 3. So altogether we have only 6 chapters to be covered. We have time. So yes. Now I will take this remaining 10 minutes to finalize the schedule for upcoming sessions. Right? So Maya like informed me that 16B intake students are okay to go with this schedule. Per month, 2 sessions physical and 2 sessions online. Right? Exception that today. What you think? So with the coordinator, I have asked the coordinator to contact me. He did contact me. So you are coordinator. Look at the like, shall we go with that option? I know, anyway, like if there are online lectures, then you why not you are like selecting that option. So in that case, then we shall schedule with your date wise I will tell. So here is the video for that. The first week of February is today. So we have done the lecture as a physical lecture. Done. So then the second week is 9th, right? So then we are not going to have a lecture on 9th. Instead of that, we are going to have the online lecture on 11th. This is Tuesday from 7:30 to 9:30. Uday Sumaya, can you type this in your WhatsApp message today? And you can drop it to the group next. Uday, like, can I have one student from the exception batch? So can someone type the schedule that I am writing in the board and put it to the WhatsApp group? Can you put it to the WhatsApp group? I will tell you, no need to write it. So then, 9, you all do not have lectures. Instead of that, we have lectures on 11. It's a Tuesday from 7:30 to 9:30. Right? So then, again, we are physically meeting on 16, 8 to 11. 16, 8 to 11. Sanitary take your first miscommunication and the sessions they are online here, sessions they are physical lecture. You all have to come physical. No excuses. So then, again 23rd today, instead of 23rd, we can have the lecture on 25th, Tuesday. 25th from 7:30 to 9:30. Right? So are you all okay with the schedule? So these are really critical things. So that's everything. See now if we consider the Sunday, the participation is only this. I know that. When there's only like one lecture on Sunday, I know this will happen here. I have like even discussions with my also regarding this. So there can be reasonable like fair reasons to the like there can be some students who are really far away. So in order to comfortably our session, they have to allocate altogether 6 hours. Like 3 hours for the traveling service, right? And the transportation cost. So there can be fair reasons. So in that case, we will go with the schedule to online and physical. So when you report this application, the other they do understand with our physical okay, so then with this we can wind up the session for today. Before winding up, if you want to clarify anything regarding today's chapter, you can take the clarifications. No, right? So then, you can leave. Thank you. So the online students who have online students in the sense the students who have joined by online. So I have shared with them the schedule for the upcoming sessions with them. So please refer to that schedule and participate in the lectures accordingly. So with this, I will wind up the session for today. Right? If you have missed any point, you can ask the notes from your friends and maintain the notes. Before winding up, if you want to clarify anything for me, you can ask me. This is for the online students, online education students who have joined by online. So it seems no, right? So I'm assuming you all do not have any question or anything to be clarified. So I will wind up the session today. Thank you. See you all in the next session. Thank you.